J YouTube channel. Shirley J is an exclusive food products company that specializes in just add water, soups, sauces, and bakery mixes. Shirley J has been testing their products for over 30 years with master chefs in commercial kitchens, and now these products are available to you and me. Now today we're going to focus on one of their just add water products, their honey white bread mix. And I'm here with Debbie, and she's going to show us an amazing application for this wonderful product. While it makes an amazing loaf of bread, oh, wait till you see what we're going to do with it today. Debbie, take it away.
Well, today we're going to make a chicken cranberry braid with our dough. So should we get started with making the dough first?
Yes, let's do that.
Let's do.
What are you going to do?
Well, what we're going to do is mix with our honey white bread mix. We're going to take 6 cups of flour and put it into our mixer.
Now wait a minute.
Not flour, it's the mix, it's not flour.
And I was just going to ask you about that. So when you call that a mix, that means then, at least tell me if I'm right or wrong here, that means I don't have to add eggs or oil or sweetener, salt, any of that jazz?
Nope, the only thing you'll need to add is the water, which we talked about, but yeast, because yeast isn't shelf stable.
Okay.
You have to add your yeast to that.
All right.
So we'll add 2 tablespoons of yeast to our mix.
Okay.
We're going to give that a quick little,
Get it all
just to
mixed
get that
up.
incorporated.
Okay.
Thank you. Now we'll add our 2 1/4 cups of warm water.
Okay. Okay. Now, you know, I want to just kind of talk to the folks out there for a minute. You're using a, holy cow, razzle-dazzle machine here.
I am. It's wonderful.
Do I need that to have a beautiful, wonderful product?
You don't. You can mix it by hand. Any upright mixer will make your dough for you.
Really? Love that.
We're going to turn this on. We're going to blend this for 10 minutes.
Okay.
Okay? We're going to get it incorporated on for a few minutes, and then we'll mix it for 10. Okay? And that will do all the kneading for us.
Sounds good. Let's do that.
Okay.
All right. Allow the bread dough to raise and then rest, and so I think we're ready to put this baby together.
We are. It's got a few minutes left of resting, and while we do that, we'll mix our filling. Should we do that?
Let's talk about filling. What all goes into this?
Well, in this particular one, we are using 12 ounces of chicken. You can use chicken breast diced. It's cooked, so you want to make sure it's cooked.
Alrighty.
Then we add chicken, mozzarella cheese.
All right.
Celery, chopped celery.
Could I use a different kind of cheese, maybe?
Absolutely.
Cheddar,
Swiss would be
provolone.
great. Put ham in it, it'd be wonderful. Okay, not in this one, but in another one. Okay, then we've got the dried cranberries.
Okay.
We've got our slivered almonds.
All right.
So we've got a nice little mix here. We have got our mayonnaise,
Okay.
which is going to bind all that together.
Yeah, I can see
Give you that with a little bit of mustard. I use the Dijon mustard, gives it a little zippier flavor.
Okay. And then that looks
And
like
then
what,
that
pepper?
is ground pepper. I like fresh ground pepper.
Fresh ground
Yeah,
pepper.
so we're going to use a little fresh ground pepper.
You know what looks I think advantageous here to me too, Debbie, is that we have most of these ingredients just around the house already.
We do.
Nothing real exotic here.
Nope. It just is a nice blend of sweet and savory flavors.
And healthy too. A lot of nice fiber in there. Now, what if I don't have chicken? Do you think I could use, say, tuna?
Oh, I would. This would be wonderful with tuna in it. You could use turkey.
Okay.
You could change things up and use beef.
Ooh,
you
shredded beef, yum.
Would be wonderful.
Or maybe
change your
shredded
cheese.
pork?
Shredded pork. What I usually do is I will make this, and then you'll see that I only use half of the dough. And then I will a lot of times make another braid using desserts. I'll use a cream cheese filling with fruit, and it's wonderful.
Are you kidding me? This is neat.
Okay.
Whoa.
So we're ready now to work with our dough. We're going to take a little flour here. Thank you.
Off your shoulders.
We're going to spread a little flour on our... We're going to turn our dough right out on there. See how nice and light that is?
And I was going to ask you, how do I know when my dough is done?
Well, usually you can stick your finger in and your dent will stay.
Okay.
But there's a lot of options, a lot of things. I like to just look at it actually. Now this is my bench knife. I use this in the kitchen a lot. And we will, thank you.
there.
That's our leftover. I'll usually make another braid with that.
Okay.
Here's our nice dough. Feel how soft that is. Isn't that lovely?
Ooh, that's as soft as a baby's bottom. Way to go.
Well, almost.
Oh.
Okay, we're going to roll this out into a rectangle. What I'm trying to accomplish is rolling it out about the size of the pan.
Okay.
Which is usually, I think we measured as 12 by 16 inches.
All right. Mm-hmm.
And then what we're going to do is make the little wings, or whatever you want to call them, on the side.
Okay.
And I'll show you how we cut those, and can try and keep those even too.
Now, by the way, everybody out there in video land, YouTube land, one of the things that Debbie did here, if you heard us use the word rest, she let the dough rest. You do that because if you don't, it becomes impossible to roll, doesn't it?
It does. You need a softer texture. You need to be able to work with the dough.
Yeah.
It allows the yeast and everything to be incorporated and to work together.
Without resting, dough tends to have a mind of its own.
It does. And see how nice and workable that dough is. This is beautiful dough.
Yeah.
It's such a fine texture. You can't even make dough from scratch and have as fine a quality. So
I'm excited for what this can mean for first-time cooks.
Oh, it's amazing.
New little wives, busy, harried mothers.
Versatile tool, and I put little marks on it. I put a 4-inch mark coming from either way.
Okay.
Because I want to take 4 inches off either side. I'm going to divide it into thirds.
Okay.
I'm going to make the little pieces on each side, and then the middle.
A landing strip for your filling, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, look at you go. And Debbie's got a plate of flour here, flour for the counter for her dough, and then if her bench knife gets sticky, she can just dip it in the flour like that and continue cutting so the dough doesn't stick to the knife. You know, you are such a pro at this. Have you been doing this for years? Are you an amazing expert? Because me as a first-time bread maker, I'm a little intimidated here, Debbie.
Well, I have worked with dough for a lot of years, and you just have to not be afraid of it. You know, you just really, it's pretty forgiving. You can't make too many mistakes. I have a large family, and so I have just always had fun baking. I love to bake. Baking is my, it's relaxing to me, actually, rather than a lot of hard work. I enjoy it.
Well, I'm going to just throw this idea out, too. I think one of the reasons that maybe this is going to work is because of the idea of the just add water, of course, plus a little yeast.
Yep.
But when I have tried to do bread making from scratch in the past, adding everything, the egg and the oil and all of that, I mean, there's a lot of opportunity to make some major mistakes, which I've done. Been there, got the t-shirt.
Yeah.
So I can see why people are absolutely going to fall in love with this just add water product. It's so simple.
It is, and it just looks like you've spent hours and hours making this. In reality, from beginning to end with this dessert, because you use your resting time to do the chopping of all your nuts and your celery and cranberries, you're about 1 hour and 10 minutes from beginning to end.
No kidding.
So that's a beautiful, fancy dinner and a dessert after. Because
and by the way, our YouTube friends, there you go.
Thank you.
I did a little research prior to us getting ready to do this for you. I found out that this whole thing, this braid, filling and all, about $1.75 for the whole shooting match. Now, is that not impressive? Easy, economical, gorgeous, tasty, healthy. Well, the list goes on. That's why we say the possibilities are endless at Shirley J. And look at you go. Oh, that is so pretty.
Okay, no.
You just cross them over.
What I do is, as I've slit them, I try to do them as evenly as possible. And I just take one across and just tuck it in the base of the next one.
Okay.
And so it's just a lap over braid. It's not too technical, not too fancy.
It's beautiful.
But it ends up with a very nice feel to it.
Oh my. You know, we eat with our eyes before we put anything in our mouths.
Absolutely we do.
And this is gorgeous.